making friends every day. Hey, when you make a friend, you stay a friend right to the very end. 'Cause Montopolis, proud Montopolis, we love you. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is our fourth episode for season 2 on the Land Justice podcast. My name is Genesis, and today we have a new fellow host. Justice, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Justyce, and I am a new youth fellow, and it's my first time doing the podcast, and I'm super excited.
Thank you. And today we have our new guest, Carol Mae. Would you like to introduce yourself too?
Oh, good afternoon. Hi. I am Mae Hester. I am from Austin, Texas. I am Montopolis Proud. It's a community group. I am the founder and president of Montopolis Proud, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Thank you for joining us. Today's topic will be about Juneteenth, why it's important, why we need to learn about it. Today's current events will be about AISD closures. And, what do you know about it, Mae? Would you explain to us?
Oh, about the closure of the schools and all that. I've been hearing about this closure of schools. I'm not too happy to hear about that, you know. I believe Austin is really growing. We have so many people, you know, moving here. I just don't understand why schools are closing. I think we need every school standing to remain open for our kids. And basically, education is very, very important. So I don't see the sense of shutting down schools when this population, Austin, is growing every day. So I'm not happy about that, hearing about, you know, we're losing schools. Some have been here for a very long time and they're shutting them down. I'm not enthused about that at all.
And what do you think about the budget cuts that are going around with, like, the school closure, but also as well as teachers getting cut from the district? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, nothing stays the same. People say that all the time. But as far as budgets, it's always budget cuts. Usually when they start cutting, people at the top, it goes first, but I'm not happy about budgeting cuts, anything, especially when it comes to people's livelihood. It affects their livelihood as well. And I just think that people can rectify that and really, whoever's in charge of all of this cutting, and really look into that a little bit deeper and see if, is this really necessary? So I'm not happy and enthused about that. I think everything should be worked out and work around it. Let's see what else we can do. There's other things, sometimes there's smaller things that we can cut that won't be such a big notice. Other than that, I'm not enthused about all the budget cuts and all of that. We're living in a society now, it's very expensive. People's livelihood, jobs get cut, and budget cuts, all of that. So it affects all of us in the long run.
Because, like, for me and Justice, like, we go to Eastside Memorial High School, and when we heard that, like, some of our favorite teachers were going to get cut, like, it kind of affected us because we've been knowing them since, like, freshman year. So, like, now learning that they're not going to be there for our senior year, supporting us, having somebody that we can lean on, those budget cuts are, like, not just affecting the teachers, but also us. How are we going to be taught? Like, how are we going to be able to trust somebody? Because we recently had just subs for, like, for the whole year, and we haven't learned anything. So, like, how are we going to learn more without any teachers, any subs that we can lean on? So I feel like with these cuts, with these school closures, how are, like, the other youth going to learn before us, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from. You know, when you start school and you have teachers there for you, they've been there to support you, they know you, they're, you know, you've adopted them like family. It's like extended family. It's just like a family member's gone, you know? So that is going to affect you, you know, and I think it's heartless to cut these teachers that's been there, especially with, then watch these students go from here to there and, you know, and moved on up, and they want to be there toward the end as well. So, yeah, that's a tragedy to hear about that.
Yeah, and I also think it definitely takes a toll on our learning as well, because we just found out that all of our Spanish teachers are being cut, and some of our art teachers are being cut, and that they might cut some of the programs from our school. So it kind of just, like, takes the fun away from learning. And also the fact, like, a lot of us go to school wanting to see these teachers and, like, wanting to do fun things in class. But now that, like, all these teachers are being cut, that's, like, taking that away from us.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of them are good teachers. That's what I'm talking. And they've taught you a lot, and you've learned all of that from them. And then to hear that they got cut, why? Different if they weren't good. But these teachers, like I say, they taught you, and education is very, very important. And you want them to be there to teach the next generation and generation. So, wow, I don't know that we need to come to the conference table. We really need to talk about those issues, you know, releasing these teachers that's been there for the students all these years, you know. It affects them.
Yeah. Thank you for speaking on about that. Now we would want to get to know more about you, like what's the work that you do and what is the importance of it?
Basically, I grew up in the community of Montopolis, and I been there all my life. And as I've grown, there's been a lot of changes in the community, and I'm not saying that bad. There's a lot of good changes. It was kind of funny because how I found out, I met some new neighbors that moved into the community, and we was talking. It was things I wasn't aware in the community that was happening, you know, the changes. So me and her, we did what we did a community walk, and she was showing me all of this, and I was like, wow, I should be telling you about, because she moved here from New York. She was telling me about my community, and that let me know that I need to do something. So I decided, and then Montopolis Proud, you know, I created a community group. And what we did, we went through the community and we did community walks to show all of the areas. Things have changed on the bridge, the Montopolis Bridge, where you can walk from the bridge and go to Guerrero Park. We saw that. It's just so many changes. Montopolis Secret Beach. That beach has been there. I'd never been there ever. And she was showing me the beach. And it just felt like, wow, you know, I missed something. So, you know, and people need people. So therefore, that's why Montopolis Proud, and we have a Facebook page. And we post it, and we're here to reconnect, to distribute. And we reach out to people that was here, moved out of the state, and people reach back and they say, wow, thank you. So we're reaching out to our extended families, the families that's been there. But now we just stay close. Anything going on in the community, people are going to know about it. Sometimes people don't know anything, but you know, we're there to reconnect and give information, and we use that as a tool. So, and a community is not just a community, we are family. Yes.
I think that's really important because like everybody needs a community, so like they feel like they could belong somewhere, not just like out there. For me, like my community, I love my community because like there's like something you could always do. Like for example, at the rec center, I can go over there, go to the pool, enjoy myself, but also like be with the other people that are in my community. Without it, like how are you going to communicate? How are you going to learn about something like within your neighborhood?
Yeah, you need to do that. You need to come together, and one day you'll be my age, and you're going to look back and say, oh, those were the good times. You're going to think back, and you're going to reminisce about all the good fun. We used to do this, we used to do that. You're never going to, and you're making history in a sense because you grew up and we did this, and then you be telling your kids, this is what we did, and we had fun, you know. Like we grew up in a community, you had to find fun. We didn't have these devices. So what we had fun with, we go get them old raggedy tires, come off a car. We get in there and roll each other down a hill. You know, if we have a bicycle, we ride, and then somebody else want to get on with you, and then they sit on the side of and we go down there. And, you know, we made our own fun. We couldn't just stay in the house. On hot days, we had to stay outside and endure. But jump rope, we used to jump rope. We did that. I don't see no kids jump roping anymore. And playing marbles. We used to play marbles. Y'all said, what is marbles, right? And then they have the big boulders. We used to do all of that. And jacks. Y'all never heard of jacks, huh? All of that. We used to play jacks. We used to do fun things. And guess what? That was so much bonding. I see, when I go to restaurants and stuff, I see families out eating, but this is it. Nobody's talking anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Like
bonding.
everybody's just on their phones now.
Everybody's on their phone. So we're missing out on something very, very important.
Yeah.
And that's called bonding with your family. There's a time and a place for everything. But, you know, when I was married and when my son was young, he come home from school, I want to know how his day was.
Yeah.
When we sit down and eat, let's talk. This is time when you talk and find out what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
What's up? So it's the communication. It's bonding time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, thank you for telling us about that. Because, like, to be connected, to be bonded, you have to make a sense of belonging. So, like, whenever you talk to somebody, you got to feel like, yeah, like, that's important to, like, talk to somebody. You know what I mean?
And also, spending time with each other. Because I think we can relate. Like,
Yeah.
when we were younger, like, when I was younger, I would go outside with my family and my cousins and my siblings, and we'd run around, just, like, go to the playground and, like, sit there for hours. But nowadays, I feel like people, they are too attached to their cell phones and their tablets and their iPads. But I can imagine, like, going to fun events or, like, doing fun things with your family, like, and reminisce on what you used to do. Like, I would want to do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You need to
100%.
connect.
Yeah.
You need to connect and you need to bond. And some people are not bonding. You know, we talk about school kids. I know I know a young lady today. She's 18. You know, she didn't do much bonding with her mother, and her mother didn't tell her much, but she quit school when she was in 8th grade. No bonding, and the mother didn't care. You know, now she's 18, she wants to go back to school because you need your education. So the truancy, I don't know what happened to the truancy because I don't know how that system failed her, you know. But it's all about bonding, talking, communicating. You got to do that with your parents. You got to find out anything going on in your life. You need to let your mom know what's going on. You know, they say if you see something, what are you supposed to do?
Say something.
Say something. You see something, say something. Yes.
Yeah, because, like, at school, like, I've seen, like, kids, like, they go to school, but, like, I know there isn't something to, like, motivate them to keep coming to school. And they just, like, stay at home, work. But, like, the education is, like, most important because that's where, like, you learn more stuff. But, like, yeah, if you go to work, you also learn stuff. But, like, education is somewhere where you can learn with other people, like, make a connection with them, like, make yourself feel more belonging. So I think the education is really important.
It is very important. And I know some of the kids have excuses for not going to school. One young lady told me, I don't care for school because they speak Spanish and I don't know what they're talking about. My teacher, that's all she does. I said, I don't think that's true. Of course, I haven't been in school in a very long time, so I don't think they would allow that. But, you know, and she hasn't been doing well in school, and she said that's the reason why. But that's her perception, but I don't think that's altogether correct. So I don't know. I don't go to school with her. Is that true? Do any of you hear anything like that in any of the classes?
I feel like with some people who, like, don't know that much, like, other languages, they kind of just, like, give up because there's not someone that they can rely on. Be like, hey, like, I need help. Like, they're too shy to ask. And I feel like if we were, like, more connected to more teachers, we will maybe be able to have more motivation to go to school. And not just that, but, like, also maybe some events. Because, like, at our school, like, our principal, she, like, gives us popsicles, you know? And she, like, gives us gift cards if we attend school, if we do great at school. So I think it's really important for, like, us to have, like, some motivation to come to school.
A little incentive also, huh? Yeah, and it's a personal thing. If you really want your education, and some kids don't think the education is important, very important. You know, that's power. Your education, that's where you get power, getting educated and moving on into society. So this 8th grader who's 18, what do you think she's going through right now? 18 years old. And I understand, you know, back in the days when my mother was young, now they worked in the fields. So school wasn't that important. Most of them didn't, they just complete the 6th grade. She just completed the 6th grade because they was out there in them fields picking cotton. I used to say, you only went to the 6th grade. Yeah, because we had to work, you know. And so kids of today are blessed. We are all blessed because I saw a lot went on back then. And I don't want to go back there.
Especially with, like, free education, like, it's something that we shouldn't be like taken for granted, because like it's there for us, like it's free, you know.
Yes.
Like we should like go and get more educated, learn more, and not just like not use that skill, because like school teaches like different skills like organizing, critical thinking, and like sometimes you can have opportunities like these. That's why like school is very important, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's, knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
So power is knowledge. All of that kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have any knowledge of anything, you're going to be lost in society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to us about that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Now we will dive into Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
And my first question is, what does Juneteenth mean to you personally?
Juneteenth, we celebrate, first of all, Juneteenth because of the slaves were free.
Mm-hmm.
And it took Texas, when they said that when the slaves were free, but it took Texas was the last state to realize that slavery was over with. 2 years later, in the month of June, we found out we was free. So it's Freedom Day.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're not free till everybody's free.